Hi, Rick.
Hey Megan, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I was away at a family reunion this past weekend, and it was a whirlwind, as it usually is when I go back
Mm-hmm.
east. Uh, and the weather was horrible for some people. They couldn't even get on their planes to come home. I mean, what a mayhem. But we
Mm.
made it home hours later than we thought it would. So I feel like I've had like two Mondays here, but I'm here
Back to
and
back.
yeah. Geez, ready to go.
Yeah,
So,
right. Rock and roll.
um,
Well, I'm glad
so
you're
this,
back. Had a great time. Good to see a
yeah,
family always, right?
yes, for sure. It's ridiculous to not see your family. It's so nice to see them. Feels so good. Why don't we do it more often, right?
Very true. Very true.
So, thank you for asking. While we were busy getting ready to do all the things we do every day, a big, beautiful bill I think was it last week that got passed, right?
July 4th. They signed it on July 4th.
Oh, July
How
4th.
ironic is that, huh?
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure that was on purpose. And there are
Mhm.
some implications, or is that the right, not implications. I guess that'd be the right word. I feel like an
Yeah.
implication is like if you're being accused of something. Anyway,
That'd be an accusation.
I, I know I need more coffee. I really, really do. I need more coffee.
Don't forget you
Okay.
had 2 Mondays, so you're excused.
I know. It's the two Mondays. I'm like, ooh. Anyway, there's a lot to unpack for people
Hmm.
that own
Yeah.
homes or are investors. And so you made a really handy infographic. So you're going to lead the way today.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, look, these tax bills are always controversial no matter how you slice it. People like it, they don't like it. Some care, some don't care. That's just the way life works. But for us, there's some things in there that I think are important for people to know. Some things haven't changed, some did, and I think it's all overall really good. So the one thing, we know that for those of us who own homes, we get to write off the mortgage interest on our houses. That's a standard forever. But believe it or not, over in recent years, that has been somewhat under attack. There is
Mm,
some camps that think they should do away with that deduction. I think that's a horrible idea personally. But so the good news here is that they kept that deduction up to $750,000 on your interest. So that's a really
mhm.
good benefit to keep.
Yeah.
Um, we know, years ago they did away with the deductions for your mortgage insurance, like PMI, MIP, FHA mortgage insurance, conventional mortgage insurance. That was not a tax write-off at all. Now they brought that tax back, or that tax benefit back. So now, according to the bill, you can write off the monthly portion of your mortgage insurance. The caveat there, of course, is that if your income is under $100,000 a year. Now, for a lot of
Mhm.
people nationwide, they qualify for that. Again, another great benefit. I think it helps a lot of people, so that's good for us. I like
I
that
I
piece.
love that so much because it does affect, I mean, people that are paying
Hmm.
PMI, they didn't walk into this with a big down payment. They're probably first-time home buyers or
Mostly.
people trying to
Hmm.
to build something for themselves. And they're anyway, they need as many tax breaks as they can get. So I
Everything counts. Everything counts, in
I
my
think that's
opinion,
great.
right? It
Yeah.
all counts. One thing I really, really like about this bill is that, we can also write off our property taxes on our homes. That was previously capped at $10,000 a year. They bumped that to 40,000. That's pretty huge. I mean,
Yeah,
so
that's
for those of us here, especially, I
yeah.
mean, if up to $40,000 in property taxes, that is now a tax deduction compared to 10,000. So that is a huge, huge benefit, I
That's
think.
probably the out of all the things,
Hmm.
well, out of all the things that were on there regarding real estate, I think that
Hmm.
salt uh, deduction increase is going to affect us here locally
Hmm.
more
Hmm.
than probably anything else on the bill there.
Anywhere else.
Because,
Yeah, no
yeah,
doubt about
because
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, if property taxes are about 1.25%, not in a
Hmm.
place where there's higher, just on average in Orange
Hmm.
County, and the average house is $1 million, you're paying over $10,000 a year in
Yeah,
property
they're paying
taxes.
12,000 a year for sure. And
Yeah.
in some areas of our county where there's a mellow roofs and extra assessments, that $1 million house is 20 grand a year
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
taxes. So
And
yeah,
yeah, and it's like, okay, so what, it doesn't make sense, because if you're only limited to 10,000 and you spent 12,000 on taxes, so now you're paying taxes on your taxes, you're paying an extra
pretty
tax on your
much.
2,000. It's like, this is
Hmm.
taxing us to death. This is too many
Hmm.
taxes. So I
I
was
agree.
thrilled to see that. That was my favorite thing on there, because it's too many taxes.
I like that one a lot. I like it a
Yeah.
lot. For property and for investors and flippers and people like that, they cannot write off or depreciate 100% of qualified home improvements in the first 12 months. That's also
Yeah.
pretty big.
I
So,
love that,
it's easy
because
to
yeah,
spend $50,000, right? 50 or $100,000 in improvements on a flip in a
especially
heartbeat. It's like a
nowadays,
drop in the bucket. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
another
I
big
mean, if a
benefit.
flipper is running a business, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they're repairing a house, selling it, they're already paying taxes when they do the sale. They're paying
Hmm.
taxes on the materials that they're buying, they're employing people, um they're paying the county transfer tax, that sort of thing. There's no reason
Right,
to
right.
tax them to death. Like, if they're making
Yeah,
legitimate improvements to increase the value of the property, then that should be a tax write-off. It's like, you know,
agreed.
yeah.
Look, I mean, I think we should take every benefit we have to pay less than taxes. And taxes can eat a lot of your usable income. Let's face it, they can.
Oh yeah. We had my tax guy in here, Louis, last week, and it was a free to the public class that we had, and we had about 15 people show up.
Oh, good.
Just with tax questions, and they wanted to go over, this bill and capital gains if they sell and that sort of thing. And he was breaking down how much percentage of our income that we're actually paying in taxes. And it's well over 50%.
Overall. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we have to
And you're
use
right.
what we
Sometimes you get
can.
taxed twice. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Um, Then the one thing that did not change is the tax on the 1031 exchanges. We don't do a lot of those here, of course, but the cool thing is they kept that tax benefit in play. So that's a good thing. So that no change to that. So I like that too. So overall, I think there's some nice changes here. Some things stayed the same. One thing I would like to see different, and we talked about this a minute ago, is I do think they should increase that deduction for the interest more than $750,000. I think that's a bit antiquated there, right? They should bump that to probably 1.5 million or 2 million, in my opinion. But
Right.
but for most people in the country, and a lot of people here, that's still a great benefit. But
I
I
know. Well,
think
they
they should
should look
have
at,
modified that.
yeah, they should look at, because I'm sure this up to 750 is great for probably most of the country, except for the
Most of the
major
country. Yeah.
metropolitan areas.
Hmm.
And so all they need to do is look at our income caps, the affordability
Hmm.
caps in our
Hmm.
counties, and consider that that's, kind of the worst case scenario, and
Yeah.
give it to those people, at least, people within
Mhm.
a certain, you know,
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, as I think back on that, just, we look at, for example, in the mortgage business, we know that every year we get an increase. Freddie and Fannie increase the conforming loan limits every year
yes,
because
that's what I was trying to say.
yeah, and they judge that based on the sales activity. In other words, how much housing prices have increased. And so to make housing more affordable, they keep upping that conforming loan limit to keep the rates lower for those buyers. I think the same
Hmm.
thing personally ought to apply with this, with the
Right.
tax code.
Yeah.
As these property values move up, so should that deduction move up along with it. It should be scaled somehow tied to some metric. So that's just like Freddie and Fannie, every year it goes up a little bit. And so I don't think this has probably changed in years. I think housing prices have probably jumped up 40, 50% in the last 3 or 4 years, but this has not changed.
Right.
So I think from that perspective, it's a little bit antiquated, honestly. But
Yeah.
look, we'll take the 750. It's still something we can use. And who
Yeah.
knows, that may change down the road. But overall, I think there's some really good changes here that benefit a whole lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of homeowners, a big wide net of homeowners will
Yeah.
receive, because real estate is obviously, it's huge to our economy. And
Huge.
yeah, and it's healthier for us to own houses. Now, at what price is a whole
Mhm.
nother story, about
Right. Well,
affordability.
sure.
That's
Hmm.
a whole nother very intense topic to
What is it?
unpack.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
when people own homes, they tend to have, more stable life, and their kids can grow up in a neighborhood and be
Creates
together
community.
for a long time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about the uncertainty of being a renter and
Hmm.
that sort of thing. So it's good
Right.
to support housing, and not just for the people that live there, but also for the people that invest their money. You know, Tim and I, we have some rental property, and we're 1099. We're not employees, so we have to come up with our own retirement and that sort of thing. And we
Hmm.
have really nice properties, and we make them nice, and people don't move very often, and we take care of things right away.
Hmm.
And so when they took that salt, when they dialed that back so much a couple of years ago, it's like, okay, so now I'm paying for this, paying for that. Now I'm paying double
Hmm.
taxes,
Yeah.
basically.
Right.
So that was good. But okay,
For
good
sure.
summary, Rick. I appreciate that. I know it's only
Yeah. Good
Tuesday, but
stuff.
how's the market looking this week with this bill
Mm,
passed? And
it's a lot of stuff going on in the market. There's a lot of data coming out this week on the economy and looking at pretty much the growth of the economy. The market updates today, the economy grew at a 2.9% clip in the last quarter. They were looking for
yeah,
more like 2.7. I think inflation is under control. The market didn't like some of the numbers today, but overall they were pretty tame. The talk is always about when's the next Fed rate cut, and there was some hope that we see a rate cut here in September. And based on this morning's data, it's probably not going to happen in September. But we're hopeful we'll get a Fed discount rate cut sometime in the fourth quarter. But we'll
yeah,
see. I mean, you have to look at the numbers. I mean, the market is very much focused on job growth, and then
hmm,
along with that comes the growth of the economy, right? So,
right,
but look, inflation's under control. You look back, we had 3 years ago. I can't recall the exact number now, but you know, I think the inflation was around 4.5, 5%, and the Fed benchmark was get that below 2.5. And so, and the way you do that, of course, is you raise interest rates to slow the economy, to slow the inflation, and so it goes. So now we're under 3%, 2.7, 2.89, whatever, however you want to measure that. So I think as that moderates and improves, I think we'll be fine. I mean, look, rates
yeah,
are good. I mean, they're not
yeah,
3%. We'll never see 3% again, but where they're
yeah,
at now, they're decent. And look, I think we'll see some rate improvements very, very slowly over a longer period of time. It won't happen overnight. So I think my message is honestly, Megan, if someone's waiting for rates to drop to make a decision, they're on the wrong side of that curve. They
right,
just are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're not going to see those rates again, so it's best to just
Yeah.
move on, right?
Yeah. The rates are good.
It's like
Rates are
having
not
a pair
high.
of pants that you wore in high school. It's very unlikely that you're going to be able to fit into those again. So you might as well donate them and just move on with your
That's
life.
right. That's
Be
right. Things have
you.
changed, right?
Be happy.
Exactly. Go with the flow, as they say, right?
Go with the flow. Yeah.
Right.
Live your life.
For
Anyway.
sure.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for tolerating my travel brain, and uh, great summary there. And we'll bring more information to the people next week.
I love it. It's
Oh,
always fun.
I
Yes.
forgot to say, as a disclaimer, that we are not tax professionals. We're not allowed to give tax or legal
No.
advice, and to always
True.
consult
Very true.
your tax professional. Don't believe anything that we say. Consult your
So I
tax
guess as they
professional.
say, this is for your entertainment only. We're not tax
Yes,
professionals.
this is not actual financial or even doctor advice.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Oh my
Although
gosh.
sometimes we think we are.
I know
All right.
exactly.
Good
All right,
stuff.
Rick, I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day.
Appreciate you, Megan. You too. See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye.
Bye.